Getting into the Big 12 now. A lot of parity and unpredictability once again for the Big 12 coming into the season. America's conference has no clear favorite. There's 8 teams I really project that could win the conference. Arizona State, TCU, Kansas State, Kansas, Texas Tech, Utah, Iowa State, and Baylor. A lot of teams, could make a run at it. Arizona State was picked last in the preseason poll last year to finish dead last in the Big 12, and they ended up winning the conference. So any team could jump and win the conference, but these are the 8 teams I'm projecting to have a real shot coming into the season. Starting with Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Arizona State, they all have a co-lead favorite plus 550, which is crazy odds. That just shows you how unpredictable this conference is. When you have a 3-way favorite tied at plus 550. Utah just behind them at plus 600. Baylor coming in right behind them at plus 650. TCU follows up at plus 850. And then longer shots, Iowa State and Kansas, both at plus 1400. Kansas returns a lot of production, namely on the offensive side of the balls, with Lance Leipold still there as the head coach. I think the Jayhawks, could be one to sleep on. Their new stadium looks sick, which would create a very intimidating environment for away teams to come in there and play down there in Lawrence. And Iowa State, I'm not as high on them this year, but Rockobeck could pull something off for the Cyclones once again with Matt Campbell returning as the head coach. And I think Iowa State just not enough production returning on both sides of the ball. They had a couple of defensive linemen transfer in, but they lost their top 2 receivers to the NFL. So Iowa State, I think, a longer shot to make the conference championship game, if not win it. So, but the rest of the teams in this grouping have a real shot to make the conference championship game, I believe. But calling my shot here, I'm going to rock with Utah taking on Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. Arizona State making it back there once again, back-to-back seasons, making the conference championship game. And I'm going to stick with them to win the conference as one of the 3 favorites. Arizona State at plus 550. I'm going to pick them to go back-to-back. They have a lot of returning continuity on both sides of the ball, except they lost Cam Scatterboot to the draft. But I think they're still well coached under Kenny Dillingham. I think that staff is slept on. I do believe there's a lot of returning production that people are overlooking with Arizona State. And I mostly just trust Kenny Dillingham to get his team right and throughout the season and make it back to the Big 12 championship and end up winning it. But Utah, Devin Dampier coming over, project Kyle Whittingham to get the defense back right. And I expect Devin Dampier to be a real game changer for that Utah offense. And I really like them. They're ranked in the LFTG pod preseason poll at number 25. So I just think, I project them to have a really good season. I think Kyle Whittingham will really get the job done and get his squad back on track and back into the Big 12 championship game, but they will come up just short to the Arizona State Sun Devils to go back to back in the